What's happening, Internet fam? So I have done absolutely no professional work, no music work, nothing for the last 48 hours, which is very unusual for me. I work a lot. Um, and the reason being is because I have been spending the last 48 hours combing through all of the documentation regarding my ongoing custody battle with Mrs. Jacqueline Garcia, who has been intentionally and actively harming our children in one of the most egregious methods possible. Going through the documentation now, it's so obvious to me that all of the refusals, all of the cancellations, all of these things that are being set up as if the kids were doing it were in fact her. I mean, I kind of knew that before. I've been trying really hard not to be mad at Everett and Grace for canceling visits and all kinds of other stuff. But after going through and looking at the documentation straight for 48 hours like I have, it's very, very clear to me that it's pretty much just all her. The kids never did anything wrong. They're victims here. So Everett and Grace, I need to apologize to you. I have been frustrated by the visitation cancellations. I've been frustrated by your guys' disrespectful attitude towards me during the tiny little brief windows that I've gotten to see you in the last couple of years. But after going through the documentation, I can see that it's completely 150% not your fault, and that you guys have been absolutely maligned by your own mother, and I'm sorry. It's shocking to go through the documentation and just see like page after page after page of heartbreak. It's so much worse than the individual cancellations. I mean, each one is a heartbreak, but going after them one after another like that, it's pretty shocking. It's pretty shocking. There's so much evidence too in the paperwork of the custodial parent, Mrs. Garcia, intentionally forcing the children to cancel visits, cancel phone calls, throw presents away. This is horrific. This is horrific. Everett and Grace, when you get older, if you get to see these videos, once you get older, if any of them, if the internet still exists, if these videos still exist and you get to see these, if I'm not around for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe your mom had me killed or something, I don't know, that might be something you might want to look into. I mean, the cruelty and just wanton extreme abuse that I witnessed just going through the paperwork to review in preparation for the hearing on Tuesday is unreal. I've known it was bad all 4 years, but when you go through the paperwork back to back to back like that and see every little detail in a row, it's devastating. It's devastating. I guess opposing counsel is trying to not allow me to present the evidence, and I can see why. Because if you go through this evidence at all, you're going to be immediately like, this person is harming children in one of the worst possible ways. And they have been for 4 years. It's just so obvious and egregious. And Everett and Grace, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I've tried everything to... I've tried everything. I'm still out here fighting. You know, I fought in Oregon. I fought in California. I'm fighting in Hawaii. I've been fighting for 4 years. And I just want you guys to know your dad never gave up. He never surrendered. He never gave an inch. he was in the fight for your guys' well-being every second of every day for the last 4 years. And yeah, I'm emotionally drained. I still have to go through all of the opposing counsel's evidence. The trial's on Tuesday, and it's now Saturday night, 9:30. I just got to the end of this huge stack. This huge stack of evidence against the defendant, and I can't. I don't know if I could take this, even if it was like somebody else's kids. It's that hard to read when you're going through the documentation and reading what's happening over and over and over again. And there's so many indicators that this is bad acting on the part of the defendant. It should be really, really obvious if you look at the evidence what's going on here at this point. But again, opposing counsel's, threatening to bar all of my evidence. They don't, because it's a pretty damning case, honestly. If you look at it, if anybody looked at it and actually just read through these papers that I just read through, it's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. And I can't believe my kids have been living with a monster who would do that to them for the last 4 years. It's that I've been powerless to stop it. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen at court on Tuesday. I'm still out here fighting. I'm still out here trying to do the right thing for my kids. I always have been since day one. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to present all this evidence at court, and win, lose, or draw, I'm going to read through everything I just read through on here, on the internet, and just put it out there so that everybody can see the evidence, because this is just, it's unbelievable. The cruelty, the weird, you can tell from the documentation that the kids were excited to see their dad, and then they're like, no, you can't see your dad. If you try to see your dad, you don't get this or you don't get that, or there's some kind of they're being punished for wanting to see their dad, and it's very clear from the paperwork that that's what's going on. It's shocking. It's shocking that we live in a society where this is okay. I understand at one point in the 50s or 30s or 20s or something, there was deadbeat dads going around getting women pregnant and then bailing. I get why we have a system set up with child support and all this, but the unintended consequences for my children about the way the system's been set up due to those bad actors is so much worse. It's so much worse. You're giving somebody absolute power to do the maximum amount of damage to their own children in order to get back at an ex. That's what's happening here. And going through that whole stack of paper back to back is just, it's just heartbreaking. I'm just documenting it as best I can. I'm just going to read all of this in the courthouse on Tuesday. All of it, back to back. And I think at that point, if there's any question in anybody's mind what's going on, they're either special needs or illiterate or something, because it's pretty blatant and obvious when you actually just go through and read it. I'm going to upload this now, but I'm going to set it to premiere on the day of the hearing. So for those of you who are watching this on the day of the hearing on Tuesday, you can send positive thoughts, prayers, meditation, whatever you can, for my kids and to this judge, to let him know that my kids are being abused, really badly abused, and it has to stop. It has to stop. I've been working hard and vigilantly and relentlessly on this for 4 years, but after going through that stack of paperwork, I'm more motivated now than I've ever been. Much, much more motivated. And I'm never going to give up this fight. And I'm never going to stop. Ever. And this is full scale now too. I mean, I've been going after the legal system nonstop for 4 years, but I'm coming at this problem from every angle now. Every angle. Every conceivable angle. I don't even, whatever I have to do at this point to stop my children from being abused, I'm going to do it. Whatever that is. Literally, there is no, the ends justify all means at this point. And it's horrific. What I just read through is horrific. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to get the paperwork now and read through some of it now. And this is going to premiere while we're in court on Tuesday morning. So if you're watching this fresh, if you got a notification from me, if you saw the bell or whatever, if you saw this on Tuesday, if you're watching this live right now on Tuesday morning, please send prayers, send meditate good thoughts, good vibes, whatever you can do, because this is unbelievable. I'm going to go get the stack of paper and read some of it to you right now. Okay, so this is just Exhibit J. There's Exhibit A through L, and that's just the plaintiff's exhibits. The defendant's exhibits are almost as numerous at this point. I don't know what their strategy is. I mean, once you get through even part of my exhibits, it's brutally obvious what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to read to you a few excerpts in a row and kind of give you the relentless heartbreak that I've been going through and my kids have been going through for 4 years now. So you can experience some of that pain. So buckle up. 3 p.m. Everett shares that the library opened up. VP expresses, that's me by the way, I'm the visiting parent, expresses how glad he is to hear of all the books they borrowed. 3:05, Everett says goodbye. 3:06, bye, Grace says. So a 6-minute video chat. Father expresses concern of short visits and feels that the children are asked to get off the phone. 3:06, hi, Grace says, then adds she does not want to talk. Father replies that he just wants to talk for a minute and offers them to speak about anything they want because he did not hear from them for the last week as a result of the children refusing the visit. Bye, Grace answers. Everett speaks and replies he didn't want to talk to the father and says bye. Father continues to start a conversation. Supervisor intervenes and informs the father that the children do not want to continue the visitation. 3:09. So from 3:06 to 3:09, less than 3 minutes. Father discusses his concerns that the children may be coaxed to get off the phone or not participate in phone visitation. Father states, at this point, he does not know what to do. Everett says, we just having a snack. Father says, guess where your dad is right now? I went to an island called Molokai. Everett says, I just wanted to say hi. Father says, thank you for talking to me today. I love you very much, bud. Father says, where's Grace Jean? Grace says, I just want to say hi. Father says, I'm so happy you said hi. Father tells the children he is proud of them both and loves them very much. Call ends at 3:04. So 3 o'clock, the call starts. The call's over by 3:04. 3 o'clock. Once visit is connected, Everett and Grace say, we don't want to talk. Bye. Father begins to ask the children how they are doing and what they are up to. The supervisor intervenes and informs the father that the children have expressed to end the visit. Therefore, the visit will come to an end. So, 30 seconds. Then there's some internal documentation about the supervisor talking to the supervisor of the supervisors talking to the supervisor, saying the kids come on and immediately say bye or I don't want to talk. This is happening all the time now. So there's that. 3 o'clock. Grace and Everett change their voice. You called the wrong number. Father giggles. Father adds that he didn't call. Father asks their friends has ducklings and if they wanted to hear about the duck saga. No response from the children. That's another thing too. On a lot of these calls, all I get is a couple of video chats a week, and most of the time they last like 30 seconds, and during which the kids hang up on me. And when I do get to talk to them for more than 30 seconds, they don't respond. I think they get punished if they respond. I think they get punished if they have a conversation with me. If the visit goes well, I think they're punished for that. And it's not just me who's being alienated, it's their grandparents. I'm trying to talk to the kids here about one of their grandparents, and they're being denied that right. 3:07, phone call ends, so less than 6 minutes. The notes here from the supervisor: Grace is receptive when asked open-ended questions. Everett is reserved and answers with 1 or 2 word responses. Probably because he's being punished for having a conversation with his dad. That's my guess. 3:04, Grace shares that Everett has a crush on the character Elsa. Grace giggles. Father jokes that he has a crush on Elsa as well. Grace mimics Everett. Grace says bye. That's it. So less than 1 minute of contact with Grace on that chat. This chat here, call disconnected before they could say their goodbyes. 3:14, Grace says goodbye and walks off camera. Father tells her goodbye and says he loves her. Father asks her to blow him a kiss before she leaves. Grace does so. During this video chat, the custodial parent, that's Mrs. Garcia, is observed in the corner of the screen. The custodial parent argues that she is in her home and can record the visit as stated in the court order. So to be clear, she's staying to interfere with the video chat. I only get to talk to the kids for 5 or 10 minutes twice a week. That's all I get right now because of the machinations of Mrs. Garcia. And she still wants to be there, kind of be looking over their, breathing down their neck, interrupting the call any way she can. It's a real threat to her parenthood that I could have a conversation with my kids for more than 20 minutes without her being there to discourage that process by all means possible. Supervisor notes say, behavior disruptive to staff or other visiting parents and children by the custodial party. That's Mrs. Garcia. The supervisor observed the custodial parent's elbow at the corner of the screen. Only participants listed on the court order may be in the visit with the father. So she is violating the court order here. Again, this is another instance. Supervisor informs father through the text chat that the kids only want to say hi today. Father talks to the children about Burmese food he ate. Everett waves to father and says bye. Everett walks off the screen. So literally less than 1 minute after the call starts, Everett's out of there. This was a makeup call here because there was a holiday or something. So it's an unusual time. We were at noon instead of 3. Noon, call initiated. Children smile when father plays the Star Wars theme song on the cello. At 12:04, Grace gets up and leaves the camera. Everett then follows her. Father asks the children to blow a kiss goodbye. Only Everett returns and blows father a kiss. Grace does not return. Father tells the children he loves them very much. Children end the visit early. So once again, less than 5 minutes of video chat on that one. So here I'm suggesting to the kids that I should talk to Everett for 10 minutes and then Grace to 10 minutes so we can have, just a little bit of one-on-one time, father-son, father-daughter. What the custodial parent has been doing is been putting one chair in front of the camera. So, they only get 40 minutes a week to talk to their dad. And during that 40 minutes, they've got to be fighting over the chair, fighting for an opportunity to talk without being interrupted by their sibling. So I've asked repeatedly for 4 years to have separate chats per child. I've asked repeatedly. And the kids asked for that too. The kids also said, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that. And still, 4 years later, being denied. They have to fight over a chair to get to talk to their dad. Father and Grace greet one another. Grace smiles and Grace smiles and tells father briefly about her new bed set. Grace says, okay, bye. 3:02. So less than 2 minutes. This one, the supervisor asks the children if they want to visit today. Grace says, no, not really. And then Grace says, I'll just say hi. During this video chat, Grace says bye and walks off camera. Father blows Grace a kiss. Everett comes to the camera. Father and Everett greet one another. Father asks Everett about his online school. Father asks Everett, "What are you looking at? Why do you keep looking off to the side?" Everett smiles and says, "I don't know." But we do know, because he keeps looking off to the camera because he's being coached by the custodial parent. Or Mr. Garcia. I'm not sure if it's Mrs. Garcia or Mr. Garcia who are interfering with this process. I know they don't want the kids to call me dad, and they do want the kids to call Mr. Garcia dad. I do know that, which is one of the signs of parental alienation according to the official literature, if you read it. But there's a lot of video chats where Everett's like looking up like in a scared way off to the side, or Grace is looking up to the side in a scared way, like off screen, as if somebody's there, ensuring that the chat is short and that they are very uncomfortable the entire time. Imagine trying to talk with your dad, like on a video chat, and there's somebody here, right here, just off the screen, like watching you, making sure you don't say anything, don't have a good time, making sure you end the call abruptly. That is what's going on these video chats. And the video chats are all I have. I don't have any physical visits. She won't agree to a supervisor. She won't agree to a program. Even when she does agree to the program, she then violates it. She doesn't show up. She tells the kids they can either see their dad or go to a birthday party. She's just always putting some kind of incentive to not have the dad be in their lives. 3:10, Everett talks to Father about the new Zelda video game that is supposed to come out. Everett says goodbye and walks off camera. 3:13, Grace briefly describes the toy and then says goodbye. So less than 3 minutes with my daughter in this video chat. Father tells Grace he posted a picture of her a few days ago for Daughter Day. Because it's not just the regular days that I'm missing with my kids. It's also the holidays. Birthdays, Father's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Valentine's Day, Easter, 4th of July. Every single holiday. And on the week of Daughter Day, which is a holiday, one that I didn't realize was going to be so important to me until I had my own kids, I get to talk with Grace for 5 minutes. Then she says goodbye. Then Everett comes on for 1 minute and says, "I'm going to go now," and walks off the camera. Another video chat. After Everett says a couple things to the father, he says bye. When Everett leaves, Father asks Everett if he can talk to him for more than 5 seconds. Supervisor notes, indicators of children, withdrawn behavior or flat affect. Everett left visit within a couple minutes of visit, talked with Father sparsely. Grace, more open to speak with Father, left visit early. 3:06, Grace gets up from her chair and says bye. So, less than 6 minutes on this video chat with my daughter. Father asks the children if they want to know what their dad has been up to. Children say, "Not really." Grace stands up and tells Father, "Okay, bye." Again, just, every one of these visits, I'm supposed to get 2 30-minute visits per week via video chat. Meanwhile, the other parent is sitting there like making sure they don't have a video chat or ending it by any means possible. And of course, as a result, all of my visits are very much shortened and I never get 30 minutes. I've had, I think, 1 or 2 30-minute chats in the entire 4-year time that I'm supposed to have this. Father says, "I would love to have a picture of you guys in your Halloween costumes." Everett comes on camera and says, "I don't want to talk today." Everett gets up from his chair and says, "Bye." So I got to talk to Grace for a little bit on that day and Everett for like 1 minute. Here's one where the supervisor gave us the 5-minute warning after 15 minutes, thinking that our short video chats were only supposed to be 20 minutes long. So we were actually having a good video chat on this one. And then the supervisor came in and cut it off a full 15 minutes early. Another video chat. This is October 2020. Everett comes over and says he doesn't want to talk today because he lost a skateboard in a storm drain. Everett then leaves. So I can't console my son on his loss. I can't sympathize with him or talk to him. I can't give him a hug. Nothing. And in fact, what he's depressed about in his own personal life leads to him having less of a relationship with his father again. Father greets the children. Everett briefly is on camera, says, "I don't want to talk today. Okay, bye." Father asks Grace if she would like to see the photo album at an in-person visit. Grace says, "No thanks. I don't care if you bring it or not." She doesn't care if there's any pictures of her dad and her, or her brother and her, or her brother and her dad and her. This visit in November, Everett refused the visit, and I got to talk to Grace for about 10 minutes. Everett tells Father, "I don't want to talk. Bye." Grace gives little response to Father and tells him she did online school. Father asks Grace if she can come closer to the camera to show him how her teeth are coming in. Grace says no. Grace then tells Father about her stuffed animal dog, Turkey. Children accept the visit, but end the visit early. Everett says he is ready for visit, then says he doesn't want to talk, and leaves the visit. Grace will talk to Father, but is withdrawn when Father asks a question. If Grace tells Father something, she is more willing to speak. When Grace and Father are discussing her stuffed animal, Grace abruptly tells Father bye and leaves. 3:04. So that was a less than a 4-minute video chat. Everett says bye to Father, and before he leaves, Father asks him what he wants for Christmas, but Everett doesn't want to respond. I mean, your own parent is asking you what you want for Christmas, and you're just like, just leave. Just walk away. Don't even respond. Which could be because there's somebody standing there observing them and ready to punish them if they ask for something for Christmas. This one hurts a little bit extra. This was Grace's birthday. I said, "Hey kiddos, happy birthday, belated birthday," because I didn't get to talk to her on her birthday, of course, but this is a couple days later. I said, "Christmas is coming up. I really want to get you guys some stuff." Then the children say bye and leave. So 3 minutes, 3 o'clock it starts. It's over at 3:02. So less than 2 minutes for that video chat. And that's the week of Grace's birthday. This one just says no show. Failed to arrive. Garcia, Jacqueline. Failed to arrive. Father opts to wait. Mrs. Garcia told the visiting monitor that she can only schedule visits on Sundays. Only. I'm supposed to see the kids in person twice a week and on video chat twice a week. So I'm supposed to see them 4 times a week. And she's telling the supervisor, "No, we can only do Sundays. That's it. Only Sundays." This one here, canceled by child. That's all it says. Visitation monitor asks the kids if they are ready to come inside for the visit. Grace shakes her head and tells the visiting monitor no. Visiting monitor asks Everett if he wanted to come into the visit. He quietly replied no. Visiting monitor says, "Do you want to just come in and say hi?" Everett says, "Okay, just for a little while." Grace says, "Okay, just to say hi." And then Everett came into the visit and said they were not going to stay for the visit. This is the visit where Everett explained to me that they cannot stay for the visit because they have a birthday party to attend and they need to leave now or else they won't be able to make it. Now this is at 11 a.m. and the birthday party's at 3 p.m. So the kids are being told they have to cut the visit short to make it to the birthday party, even though it's 3 hours later. And it's all here in Honolulu. It's not like they got to make a commute or anything. So again, just more manipulation. Father told the kids that he didn't want them to leave early because he doesn't get to see them often, and he's worried that he won't get to see them for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Grace's birthday. Father expresses his frustrations to the kids that he wants to visit with them because he loves and misses them. 12:07, that visit ends. So I got to see the kids for less than 10 minutes in person. And again, the kids were clearly manipulated into cutting the visit short themselves, being told that if they didn't cut the visit short, they wouldn't be able to go to the birthday party. Visitation canceled by child. Both children say no. Supervisor says, "Do you want to talk to your dad?" Grace says, "No, not really." Supervisor asks Everett if he wants to talk to his dad. Everett says, "No, not really." Visitation canceled by child. "Would you like to speak to your dad today?" Both children say no. Both children say, no, not really. The children continue to refuse the visit. Visit canceled due to children refusal. Supervisor asks the children if they would like to talk to their father on the phone. Both children say no. Supervisor again asks the children, and one of them says, not really. Supervisor asks the children if they would like to say hi. Both children say no and continue to refuse the phone visit. Cancel by child. Cancel by child again. One child says no, and the other says, no, not really. Supervisor asks the children if either of them would like to say hi to the father. Both children say, no, not really. Visit canceled due to children refusal. Outcome, canceled by child. Both children say, no, not really. Both children again say, no, not really. One of the children expresses that it would just make it harder. Just even seeing their father would make the whole thing harder. So much pain, so much anguish we've all been through. So just even seeing dad, it hurts a little bit now. So yeah, they're going to continue to resist the visit. Phone visit canceled due to children refusal. Father responds by saying, this is unacceptable. Father later says, this is severe child abuse, and he has not talked to or seen his children in months. That was during the 8-month period last year in 2020 when I did not get to see or talk to the children at all because of the custodial parent. Another visit, canceled by child. Everett states, I don't want to talk to my dad. Grace also refuses and states she does not want to talk. Supervisor contacts father and informs him the children have refused the visit. Father understands that consistent refusals will result in a review of the case by the supervisor, and the supervisor will discuss the case with the department head. Custodial parent hands phone to children. Supervisor inquires if Grace and Everett are going to participate in the visit. Both children refused. Supervisor tells father children refuse the visit, and there's no reason to call back. They refuse the visit. Just another normal visitation refusal. Supervisor emails both parties for Zoom visit invitations. Both children refuse the visit. Supervisor asks the children several times if they would like to talk to their father or just say hi. Both children continue to refuse and resist the visit. Visit canceled due to children refusal. Father informed. Another visit canceled by child. The supervisor observed the children looking in the direction where the custodial parent was standing before answering. The custodial parent was not on camera. So now the supervisors are saying the kids are looking off to the side, like this during the chat. And again, the supervisor says notices the children looking up at the direction where the custodial parent answered the video message. And once again, canceled by child, acknowledged their decision and informed the custodial parent that they will let the father know. The children said they didn't want to participate. But in this one, there's a note from the supervisor saying the kids kept looking over where the Mrs. Garcia was just standing. And then after looking at her, said, no, we don't want to talk to our dad. Obviously terrified by some kind of punishment or recriminations. Another visit, canceled by child. The children joined the visit as scheduled. Asked the children if they are ready for today's visit. Both children refused the visit. The supervisor asked the children if they would like to say hi. Both children say no and continue to refuse. Everett looks up off camera several times. Everett says he does not want to do the visit. So once again, he's looking over here at something off camera and then saying, no, I don't want to do the visit. Obviously being coached to cancel the visit with his own father. And this one's a little bit heartbreaking because then they get on to tell me that my kids don't want to talk to me. And I say, I don't understand. I just saw them yesterday. Now they didn't want to talk to me. Canceled by child. Child refusal by both Everett and Grace. Grace said she did not want to speak with her father. Father states that it was a violation of his rights and the children's rights for the custodial parent to not let him see the children. Visitation. Canceled by child. Supervisor asked Grace and Everett if they were ready for the visit. Everett said yes, but he didn't want to talk. Then he left the camera. Supervisor asked Grace if she wanted to visit. Grace said she didn't want to talk. Supervisor asked Grace if she just wants to see her father, then leave. Grace says she doesn't want to see him either. Father claims Mrs. Garcia is coaching the kids to not have visits. Father says the children are experiencing parental alienation, which he says is abuse. Father asks if PACT gives training for parental alienation. Father asks what he can do to make the supervisors more aware of parental alienation, how to deal with it. Visitation canceled by child. Both children refuse to participate in today's Zoom visit. Virtual background is being utilized. When Everett is on camera, he verbalizes that he does not want to talk today. Supervisor asks Grace if she would like to participate in today's Zoom visit. Grace says, not really. You don't want to talk today? Grace says no. And here's what I don't understand. Both of the supervisors, in both cases here, the supervisor says, oh, that's okay. Oh, you don't want to talk to your dad? Oh, that's okay. It's okay if you don't want to talk to your dad, who you've been completely alienated from and who has been abused, as you have been for the last 4 years, by your custodial parent. Canceled by child. Here's another one. Canceled by child. Supervisor admits children. Supervisor asks if he would like to sit in the visit and not say anything. Everett looks to the left. For some reason, Everett's always looking to the left before he answers. Always off to the left. No, I just want to go. Supervisor then confirms Grace does want to talk to the VP, the visiting parent, father. Grace looks left and says, no, actually, I don't want to talk. I just want to go. So Grace did want to talk to her dad. And then looks to the left and is told not to talk to her dad by somebody. Father expresses frustration and sadness. Canceled by child. Visit canceled due to children refusal. Father says this is ridiculous. You know it's Grace's birthday today. Father says obviously the person running this program doesn't know anything about parental alienation. So that's just some of the documented evidence of the last year. Most of those cancellations were in the last 6 months or 4 months or 5 months. I mean, they were all very recent. Again, I've been going to court trying to fight for some kind of right to have access to my kids, some kind of right for my kids to have access to their dad. It's very clear looking at these notes that either Mrs. Garcia or Mr. Garcia, I really have no way of knowing who, is discouraging the video chats and is standing there coaching the kids to cancel the visits. So, anyway, that's what's going on. It's not good. It's not good. Everett and Grace, if you get to watch this video and this video and these other videos of your dad are all that are left, because your mom or somebody else has had your dad killed, then I just want you to know I love you very much, and I never would have done this to you. When I had custody of you guys that first summer, I made sure that you video chatted with your mom every single day, and that's the right thing to do in this situation. Yeah, I'm going to set this to premiere for Tuesday. I'm not going to do any editing or anything. This is just raw. This is just the facts. Everett and Grace, I love you very much. I'm so sorry this has happened to you. Your dad's been fighting the whole time. Your dad's going to keep fighting too. If your dad's not fighting, it's because he got stopped. And if he got stopped, it's a pretty short list of who stopped him, who the suspects are in that. So, yeah, if you were watching this on Tuesday, during the daytime, Tuesday, January 19th, 2021, then send prayers, send positive thoughts, send everything you can, because these kids are being abused. They've been being abused by their own mother for 4 years, and it needs to stop. And if it's Tuesday the 19th of 2021, we're in court right now. So send that energy now. I mean, I've always been kind of a hard atheist who didn't believe in any of that stuff, but I'm willing to try anything now, anything to end the abuse of my 2 children. So Everett and Grace, if you watch this in the future, I love you so much, and I hope that you can unburden your hearts of any hate or pain that you have due to the abuse that your mom and her whole family put you guys through. And your cousin Max, too. I mean, your Aunt Rhonda did the same thing to her ex-husband, Matt. So this is not, and it's happening all throughout this country. There's millions of people being having access to their children removed, millions of children having access to their parents removed. So just know that I love you very much. I want the best for you, and not to let your lack of access to me growing up hurt you if you can. Just know that I was there for you every step of the way, every day. Thinking about you, sending you presents that your mom threw away. I mean, there's so much evidence in this documentation of presents that I bought for them being thrown away, being returned. The kids never getting them, several different things. The kids are encouraged to throw away photo albums. I gave them a photo album of me and them on these like super fun adventures, and it was thrown away. And this is, again, the same person who threw away all of my photos from before I met her. All of my music career, all of everything. She threw away like 10 gigabytes, 10 years worth of photos and videos of like my whole adult life from 20 to 30 when I met her or whatever. So this is that same person who threw all those photos away while we were still married. Threw away all of my photos. And now she's making the kids throw away photo albums of them and their dad. Just trying to erase their dad by all means possible. Make them call some other random dude dad. Some other dude who now is complicit in 4 years of child abuse. So he's, and people ask, well, she's remarried. Like, can't she just like back off a little bit and be cool? And it's like, well, no. And not only that, but now she has a partner in crime who's also helping to abuse our children, encouraging them to call him dad, encouraging them to hang up on their dad, on their actual dad, encouraging them to throw away presents and photo albums from their dad. So this is premiering while we're in court. So whatever happens in court, I have no way of knowing. It's 3 days away from now. But if you are watching this, then you know what I've been doing the last 48 hours is going through all of these papers and tying them in with reports from psychologists and stuff like that, and just trying to show, hey, this is what's happening. Everett and Grace, I love you very much. Internet fam, I love all of you. Parental alienation is one of the cruelest forms of abuse there is. Psychologists say it's worse than physical or sexual abuse in many cases. And having been going through it for 4 years, I can't imagine that's not true. I can't imagine it's not true. It's got to be like the worst thing ever. So many dads in my position turn to drugs and alcohol, commit suicide. It's an epidemic in this country, actually. But I'm just too stubborn and too tough. So instead, I'm sober and I'm fighting. I'm fighting every way I can. And regardless of how this court date goes on Tuesday, I'm going to keep fighting. In fact, I'm doubling down. After going through all this paperwork back to back like that, I'm doubling down. I'm going to fight harder. Much harder. If you're worried about your public reputation on the internet, if you're worried about all of those sorts of things,